Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. It's good manners to say thank you to those who have been consistently supporting this channel. Kaka, during the campaign period, the church topped in campaigning for Kenya Kwanza government. Pastors used God's altar for campaigns. William Ruto used millions of shillings in building churches. And you know, everyone is in business. You cannot expect someone to give you without a return, unless it's a charity work. But if it's campaigns, just know that politician, once you elect him or her, they must return all the cash they used during campaigns. What am I saying? You could not speak negative about William Ruto when a pastor is near you. In fact, they could swallow you. Now, Ruto is not the president. The church is complaining on the same president they supported wholeheartedly. Are you getting the logic? Ruto is the president. The churches who supported him are now crying the loudest. Sometimes I sit back, look at pastors, the clergy, and I laugh at them. During the campaign, mulisema, huyu ni pastor wetu. We must support him. Freedom of churches has come. Uhuru ni mlevi. That's what you said. I remember very well. Mulisema, sasa tunasupporti kanisa yetu. That's what you said. You planned for crusades. You planned for fundraisers. You planned for Thanksgiving ceremony. All kinds of meetings that were fully sponsored by the Kenya Kwanza Brigade. Now I'm asking you, pastors. I'm asking the clergy. What has changed now? Is Ruto not the same Ruto you had during the campaigns? Is he the same? If he has changed, you were told in State House by Rick G that if you are a pastor, just knock, Mama Dorcas will open the gate for you. You were given all the access. You were given the powers to access State House at your convenient time. Instead of wasting our time on media, instead of wasting our data bundles, the same way you made a delegation to State House when Ruto won, we are asking you, prepare the same delegation to State House because the doors are open for pastors. Go sit with Ruto, tell him stop the theft and focus on development. The clergy had a meeting the other day, and they were calling on Ruto to stop stealing. The same pastors, men of the cloth, they are today from media warning Ruto. In Kenya, sometimes I look at us and I say, God, Kenya is a mental hospital. Kenya should be declared a mental hospital. Pastors crying now of theft. Let me ask you, pastors in Swahili. Zile pesa mlijengewa kanisa, nyinyi mlifikiria zitatoka wapi zirudi? I'm asking you. Zile pesa mlijengewa makanisa, mlifikiria baada ya kushinda uongozi atatoa wapi arudishe? Anyway, I don't want to be too emotional on this issue. But I know pastors are listening to me tonight. Stop wasting our time on media. Stop barking like dogs. Stop yawning. Stop yapping. Wakati muliitana State House hamkutuambia. You didn't tell us. Tuliwaona kwa TV State House mkisema haba shaka ntoroborika. Mukitakasa, tuliwaona kwa TV. Sisi hamkutuambia mnaenda. I have friends who are pastors. Nobody called me asema kaka tumeitwa State House. Nobody. Lakini leo wananiita press. Kaka Ruto ameiba, kuja tuongee. Shame on you. Anyway, can we listen to what pastors are saying?
CS for Treasury said that Kenya is broke. I think all Kenyans understand what that means. And if his report is indeed true, that Kenya is broke, then all Kenyans need to be informed properly and to be consulted on how they are going to work towards saving their country from becoming insolvent. That's what we call it. However, we appreciate the measures that the national government has put in place and the National Treasury. We have seen some of the measures adopted by Parliament in terms of bills and laws. And it is time for all of us as Kenyans, because we are the sovereign of this country, to all gather together. The economy is too important and so sacred to be left only to the bureaucrats in Treasury. It is time for all Kenyans to rise up and save their country, and whatever can be done to make sure that Kenya is solvent again must be done. And that is why we have said we must stop the wanton wastage and theft of public funds by public officers. We also have said that the government must live within its means. We know that Kenya raises about 2 trillion shillings from ordinary revenue every year. So the budget of Kenya should not go beyond 2 trillion. But we have a very big budget that is financed through borrowing. And then we have also said excessive borrowing that is not in accordance with the law, that is not oversighted by Parliament, who are the representative. We still believe that there is no taxation without representation. So we must live within our means, and we must stop the theft, and we must all work together. Not just, this is not a responsibility of National Treasury, it's a responsibility of every Kenyan to save our country and to make sure that the little money that we are raising through taxes does not end up in pockets of a few. When the Treasury is saying the country is broke, we should not be seeing creation of additional positions for a few so that they can earn salaries and allowances. So we'll ask and urge Parliament and all the state officers involved in that initiative to shelve it until when Kenya is able to pay its obligations, both in terms of debt and in terms of providing services to Kenyans. We made to understand that several state-owned enterprises are going to be privatized. We are also aware that the state-owned enterprises have been a cause for alarm because of the spend they have on the budget. They spend upwards of 500 billion from the exchequer. So while we understand that, we also understand that Kenya is not fully food secure, and part of our sovereignty as the people of Kenya, under the Constitution of Kenya, Article 1, is seeds. So privatizing our only company that makes seeds that are of high quality is a violation of our constitution and is also a violation of our sovereignty as a people of Kenya. We are also careful that it doesn't result in introduction of genetically modified organisms or GMOs, which are going to affect everything, even our DNA as Kenyans. We want to reserve our DNA by having control of Kenya seed. Thank you. So we are urging all players on both sides of the political divide to wait until this report is adopted by the House. As to whether there will be a referendum or not, that is a decision by Kenyans, not by politicians. Thank you. We call for fast tracking of the recruitment of an appointment of the commissioners for the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. On its part, we urge the IEBC Secretariat to put in place the measures necessary to prepare for the boundaries review process. We especially urge that a nationwide sensitization campaign be rolled out to ensure that the people's expectations are aligned to the provisions of the Constitution.
Na salimu nyote, kwa majina ni Florence Geshoke, Managing Director, Engineers Land and Properties Limited. Na wakaribisha nyote kwa sherehe yetu ya kuwakabidhi wateja wetu zaidi ya title deeds 300 kati ya miradi yetu 13 hapa Nakuru County. Nasihi waliowekeza nasi tuungane pamoja tarehe 16 Disemba mwaka huu pale Nakuru Athletic Club ama NAC Nakuru Town. Karibuni Engineers Land and Properties and secure your future with us. Thank you.
Engineers Land and Properties Limited. Secure your future with us.